What if the most powerful brain repair session of your life doesn't happen in a doctor's office, doesn't cost thousands of dollars, and doesn't require any prescription, but happens silently, automatically, every single night while you are sleeping? What if I told you that right now, as you read this, your brain is either healing itself or destroying itself, and the only difference is what you ate 3 hours ago? What if the secret to sharper memory, better focus, and a mind that stays young well into your 70s and 80s was sitting in your kitchen all along? Scientists have now confirmed something that changes everything we thought we knew about brain health. Your brain doesn't just rest at night, it cleans itself, it repairs neurons, it locks in memories, and it needs specific nutrients to do this job. But most people, they eat the wrong things before bed, and they are unknowingly blocking this process every single night. Tonight, that changes. Stay with me, because what I am about to share could literally save your brain. What if your brain had its own built-in garbage truck that collected toxic waste every night, but you were accidentally turning it off without knowing it? Scientists discovered something extraordinary. The brain has a system called the glymphatic system, a network of channels that flushes out toxic proteins, including amyloid plaques, the very same compounds linked to Alzheimer's disease. This system is almost completely inactive during the day. It powers on at night, specifically during deep sleep, and it is 60% more active when you are sleeping than when you are awake. Here's the shocking truth. This system requires proper hydration, healthy fat intake, and specific anti-inflammatory compounds to function at full capacity. Without them, the cleaning process slows down. Toxins build up. Over years and decades, this buildup contributes to memory loss, brain fog, and cognitive decline. Research published in the journal Science confirmed that just one night of disrupted sleep caused a measurable increase in amyloid beta, the protein associated with Alzheimer's. This is not a minor issue. This is a crisis most people are living through silently, and it starts with what you eat before you close your eyes. What if a single handful of something that looks like a tiny brain could actually repair your actual brain overnight? Walnuts are not just a snack, they are a pharmaceutical-grade delivery system for brain-healing compounds. Walnuts are the only tree nut that contains significant amounts of alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, combined with polyphenols and melatonin precursors. A landmark study from UCLA found that adults who regularly consumed walnuts scored significantly higher on cognitive tests, including memory, concentration, and processing speed. But here's where it gets genuinely shocking. Walnuts contain a compound called ellagic acid, which crosses the blood-brain barrier and directly reduces neuroinflammation. The silent inflammation that researchers now believe drives conditions from depression to dementia. Eating walnuts before bed delivers these compounds during the peak repair window. The melatonin precursors in walnuts also improve deep sleep quality, the exact phase when your glymphatic system is most active. You are not just eating a nut, you are essentially sending a repair crew into your brain every single night. Studies show that even just 1.5 ounces cas, about 15 to 20 walnut halves, consumed in the evening is enough to produce measurable changes in brain protective markers within 6 weeks. What if the difference between waking up sharp and mentally foggy was one tiny fruit that almost nobody thinks about? Tart cherries, specifically Montmorency cherries, contain the highest natural concentration of melatonin found in any food on the planet, but this is not the synthetic melatonin in a pill. This is biologically active, food-sourced melatonin that your brain recognizes and uses immediately. A groundbreaking study published in the European Journal of Nutrition showed that adults who drank tart cherry juice twice daily experienced 84 extra minutes of sleep per week compared to the placebo group. And crucially, their sleep quality improved dramatically. Why does this matter for brain repair? Because deep sleep, specifically stage 3 and stage 4 sleep, is when the brain consolidates memory, repairs damaged neurons, and flushes out neurotoxic waste. Without enough deep sleep, none of this happens. Tart cherries also contain anthocyanins, deep red pigments that function as powerful neuroprotective antioxidants. These compounds have been shown to reduce the oxidative stress that damages brain cells over time. One glass of tart cherry juice or a small bowl of tart cherries consumed 60 to 90 minutes before bed essentially flips the switch that activates your brain's overnight healing protocol. This is not a wellness trend. This is peer-reviewed science that most people have simply never heard. What if there was a food that literally increased the physical size and density of your brain's memory center, and most people were completely unaware of it? The hippocampus is the part of your brain responsible for forming and storing new memories. In people with Alzheimer's disease, the hippocampus is one of the first regions to shrink. But here's what the research shows. Eating fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, 2 to 3 times per week is directly associated with greater hippocampal volume. This is not a metaphor. Scientists can measure this on MRI scans. The reason is DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, a specific long-chain omega-3 that makes up approximately 97% of the omega-3 fatty acids in the brain. DHA is literally a structural component of your brain cells. Without adequate DHA, neurons become rigid, communication between brain regions slows, and inflammation rises. A major study from the University of Pittsburgh found that adults with higher blood levels of omega-3 DHA had significantly larger brain volumes and consistently scored better on memory tests. Consuming fatty fish in the evening is particularly strategic because the body absorbs and distributes fatty acids during sleep when blood flow to the brain increases. You are essentially resupplying your brain with its primary building material every night you eat this way. What if the vegetables most people push to the side of their plate were actually shielding your brain from age-related memory loss in a way that nothing else can match? Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and collard greens contain a specific form of vitamin K, phylloquinone, and that researchers at Rush University recently identified as one of the most powerful nutritional predictors of cognitive longevity. In a massive study called the MIND trial, people who ate just 1 to 2 servings of dark leafy greens per day had brains that were cognitively 11 years younger than those who ate the least. 11 years. That is not a small difference. That is the difference between a sharp, fully functioning 65-year-old mind and a declining 76-year-old one. But the benefits go even deeper. These greens are extraordinarily rich in lutein, a carotenoid compound that crosses the blood-retinal and blood-brain barrier and accumulates in the brain tissue itself. Researchers have found that people with higher lutein levels in brain tissue exhibit significantly better fluid intelligence and processing speed. They also contain folate, which is critical for DNA methylation in neurons, a process that literally repairs genetic damage in your brain cells. Eating these greens at dinner or before bed ensures that these compounds are actively circulating during your peak brain repair window. The evidence is overwhelming and undeniable. What if the control center for your mental health, memory, and mood was not located in your skull, but in your gut, and you had the power to completely transform it starting tonight? The gut-brain axis is one of the most revolutionary discoveries in modern neuroscience. Scientists have confirmed that approximately 95% of serotonin, the key neurotransmitter that regulates mood, memory consolidation, and sleep quality, is produced not in the brain, but in the gut. And the quality of that serotonin production depends almost entirely on the health of your gut microbiome. Fermented foods, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt with live cultures are the most powerful tools we have for feeding the beneficial bacteria that communicate directly with the brain via the vagus nerve. A landmark study from Stanford University showed that people who consumed a high fermented food diet for just 10 weeks had measurably higher microbiome diversity and significantly lower markers of neuroinflammation, including the same inflammatory proteins that drive depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. Eating fermented foods before bed is particularly powerful because the overnight hours represent the longest continuous period your gut microbiome has to reproduce, communicate, and send beneficial signals to the brain. You are literally cultivating a healthier, more intelligent nervous system while you sleep. This is the future of brain medicine, and it begins in your kitchen tonight. What started as a simple question, what should I eat before bed, has now revealed a truth that modern science is only beginning to fully understand. Your brain is not passive at night. It is the most active version of itself. It cleans, it rebuilds, it consolidates every memory you formed that day, and it either succeeds brilliantly or struggles silently based on the fuel you gave it before you closed your eyes. Walnuts deliver the omega-3s and melatonin precursors your neurons need to rebuild. Tart cherries unlock deep sleep, the only state where full brain repair is possible. Fatty fish supply the DHA that is literally part of your brain's physical structure. Dark leafy greens protect decades of memories you haven't even formed yet. And fermented foods rewire your gut-brain axis from the inside out, creating an internal environment where mental clarity and emotional resilience can thrive. This is not about a perfect diet. This is not about restriction. This is about understanding that every night is an opportunity, a 6 to 8 hour window where your brain will either repair itself powerfully or fall behind silently. Starting tonight, you have the knowledge to make that window count. Your brain has been waiting for this. Give it what it needs. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. That tells me you truly care about your brain, your health, and your future. And I want you to know that decision alone puts you ahead of 90% of people who will never take the time to learn this. Start small. Pick one of these 5 foods tonight, just one, and watch what begins to change over the coming weeks. Your mind is not fixed. Your memory is not fading without a fight. You are more capable of healing than you have ever been told. Good luck, and take care of that extraordinary brain of yours. I will see you in the next one.